Hello everybody. In my last video in my story snippets series, I was talking about how I wanted to be a physio and the difficulties that I had in finding somewhere to study, and how finally I found out about the North London School of Physiotherapy. So I started the enrolment process just as I was finishing school, because I had lots of time, because the school year in the UK doesn't start until September, as opposed to the Australian academic year that starts in February. So I enrolled and they accepted my written application. It was unlike really any university application process that I've been through since, or any other enrolment process really. It was quite unusual. I had to fill in forms, as you do for normal university enrolment. Then I had to write a story about why I wanted to be a physio, which was fine. Then I had to do a whole host of physical tests. I had to go to one of the physio schools in Sydney. I had to do jumping jacks. I had to walk on a balance beam. I had to put 4 stools in a square 4 feet apart, or something similar, and the idea that I couldn't reach between the 2 stools to see how far they were apart. I had to put 4 stools in a square, which was measured, and the measurements were all written down, which is incredibly hard if you can't see where you're putting. Well, I don't know. I found it really, really hard anyway. I challenge anyone who's decided to put 4 stools in a square exactly 4 feet apart without touching there's more than 1 stool at a time. Then I had to walk along beside a wall, I think it was something like 8 inches from the wall, without touching the wall. I found out later that the whole idea of all this stuff was to check out my orientation and mobility skills, and my ability to judge distances, and my spatial awareness. So anyway, I completed all those tests as best I could. I also had to bandage someone's knee and bandage someone's arm and all that, which was fine. And so completed all those tests, and off I went to London. With my mum, she came with me because I didn't know what I would need over there, and so I took everything. I took a Perkins Brailler, which is this steel contraption which weighs about 4 kilos. I took heaps of Braille books because I didn't know what I'd need over there. Even though it was a school for the blind, I didn't really know what was provided over there. So I took boxes and boxes of stuff. We had to get special permission from the airline to take all this stuff over. So Mum took me over to London, and I started studying physio. It turns out, though, that the result of all those tests showed that I had problems with my spatial awareness, which of course I wasn't aware of. The only thing I knew was that I couldn't do something like hold a bowl of soup level, or carry a tray, or something like that, and I just thought that all blind people were like that, but obviously not. There are other blind people who can do those sorts of things better because they have a better awareness of where their body is in space. So they suspected that I had spatial awareness problems because of the results of my tests, but they didn't tell us that until I got to the school. I'd spent a term studying there, or 2 terms. I started in September. I ended up leaving in February, so 5 months studying there. We'd outlaid the £16,000 tuition. I must have only been 1 term. £16,000 tuition, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I was told that I should come back to Australia and do something more academic, because my skills and my experiences over there, they had observed me and they had confirmed that yes, in fact, I did have spatial awareness problems, so I should come back and do something more academic. Thankfully, my father, in his wisdom, when I had actually got my Australian university entrance score, he suggested that I apply for something just in case, just as a backup plan. So I applied to study commerce. So I had that waiting for me when I came back. And I will talk to you a little bit about that in my next story snippets video.